paper and a pencil. We are going to be going over quite a bit of information. Unfortunately, typically we have this as a handout that we're going to show you today. But we are going to put this back on our website when we're done. In addition to that, I don't know if you could try even to print it off of this, what we're going to show you here. So, but it's probably best to have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, whatever. What's going to happen is the format. Mr. Jackson's going to put up a screen. We're going to go over each individual section, which we feel is extremely important for you. Now, let me ask this. This is strictly for kids who are going into junior year. Okay, so we are current sophomores. We're going to be juniors next year. All right, so junior year, by far the most important year in high school. In addition to that, by far the hardest year in high school. And so we got a double whammy going on for next year, that we've got to make sure our kids are on the right track, taking the right classes, getting psyched up for all kinds of things in the future. So that's where we need to enlist you guys to pay attention to all of this as well. And that's why we're having this meeting, is because we will have explained this to your kids 5,000 times, and they either will, one, not tell you about it, or two, they will forget about it, or we really bored them during the presentation and they forgot about it. So that's why we're having this meeting. And we've already talked to your students, your children. We've been in their classrooms for the last few weeks in their English class to go over their pre-registration, so their courses for next year. And so I hope that they rush to tell you all about it. And they are filling out a Google form to submit their classes. They are supposed to have told you about it. You were supposed to have looked over that form with them and entered your email, and then they would click the submit button. So I hope that that happens. If it didn't, then you just need to ask them about it, what they signed up for. Because what we try to avoid is when you meet with us in the summertime, you guys going back and forth saying, oh my gosh, you signed up for that? Oh my gosh, why did you do that? Did you check on that? So a lot of times that happens. So we just want to try to avoid stuff like that. Okay, looks like we still got a lot of people coming in, but we're going to get going. So Mr. Jacks, if you would like to put the presentation up on the board, yes, that would be great. Make it a little bit bigger there.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
You're going to be pulling double duty there.
I am.
My friend.
All right, I'm going to go to our first screen here. So let me slide over. Drop down. I'll make it a little bigger for you.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention to you guys are going to have lots of questions, and we get that. And so as we go along, and it pertains to the particular section that we are talking about, we'd like you to ask us questions at that time. If it is a general question, during the presentation, we're going to do general questions. If you have a specific question for your child only, that pertains to only your child, then you're going to have to ask us after the presentation is over. Mr. Jack, somebody asked if you could post the document. I don't know where we would post that document.
Maybe later.
I'm sorry, you guys. We're not very tech savvy on that part.
I was proud that I was able to do this.
Yeah, so on the school site, unfortunately, we posted afterwards. It's probably a good idea. We probably should have posted it beforehand, but it won't be posted until afterwards. And our IT guy is the only one who does that. He's in charge of our website. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to start up the top part where it says this past year, advanced placement students filled out AP interest forms. Next year is a big year for kids to be taking AP classes and tests. So there was an interest form that is on our school website. It came and went. I believe that the kids have already had to fill them out. If they're going to take any kind of AP test or class, they had to have filled out an interest form. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. So they can't even sign up for an AP class unless they filled out that form and got accepted. How do they know if they got accepted? It is on the school website under their student ID number. Okay. At Walnut High School, we're so proud to announce that we've brought back from back in the day CTE classes. These are the kind of classes that are super, they used to be called ROP for those of you from back in the day, but now it's called CTE. They're career technical education. We have quite a few of them. The administrative justice is just that, learning about the whole police world. The computer-aided drafting class is architecture and engineering. We have childhood emergency medical services, which is like a firefighter paramedic. We have medical pathologies and sports physical therapy, which is kind of like an athletic training pathway. We've got even fire science we just started as well. And that class is a dual enrollment class, and that is with Mount SAC. So dual enrollment means that they are taking the class on Walnut High School's campus. They're getting a grade for it in credit, but they're also getting college credit for that class. So we do have a couple of those. Our ASL program, our sign language program, and fire science are the two of our dual enrollment classes. I talked to you about pre-registration already. Again, the last couple of weeks, we've been in your kids' classrooms in their English class. They, again, have a link on our, that was put in their teachers' Google Classrooms, as well as we have a Google Classroom ourselves for the class of 2023, and all of that information is posted there as well. We went over with the kids on how to find a class on our school website. And this handbook would be extremely important to you guys as well. So, Mr. Jackson, do you want to go over to that right now?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Let me admit some people here. I just got everybody in.
So Mr. Saya asked, the CT electives or grad requirement? They are both, actually. You need 5 to 15 credits of applied arts, which the CTE classes post in there. The CTE classes are applied arts classes, okay? So this is extremely important. All of you need to know this. This is our high school website. Under the academics, you scroll down to the course offerings. Under that course offerings, you will find our student handbook or our course catalog. We can call it any of that. This is where you are going to find all of your information on what your kid needs to know to graduate from high school and to get to a four-year school. We went over this with all of your students, all of your kids. So it's going to show you how to look up classes. Are they A through G? What is A through G? There's graduation requirements, and then there's A through G requirements. Remembering that A through G requirements are the requirements that you need to go directly to a four-year school. Here are the A through G requirements. The history is the A category, English is the B category, math C, and so on, okay? Again, we went over that with all your students who were in class those days. It's also going to give you a course description. So, Mr. Jacks, do you want to scroll down to any course?
Sure.
And we're only going to go over the one of these for you guys. We're not going to bore you with the whole thing here, so just bear with us. So we can just pick any class. Chemistry, right there, advanced placement chemistry. It's going to tell you it's worth a year's of credit. It tells you what the prerequisites are. It gives you the whole course description, and then it tells you what category it falls under in the A through G requirements. How simple is that? Super simple. So the thing that we encourage you guys is that you know, I know Mr. Jackson and I are your counselors and we get paid the big bucks, right? The big bucks for guiding your kids to get into college. But, you know, we make mistakes too. So sometimes, you know, we'll get called on something. Oh, Ms. Tucker, I forgot to take health and I'm going into my senior year. We're like, oh my gosh, you got to take health, you know? So your kids and you have to be paying attention to all this stuff. You know, there's a lot to remember. We have, you know, 270 kids each. So it's a lot. All right, let's go back to the sheet, Mr. Jacks, our pamphlet.
Got it. I think I'm going to let a couple more in.
Okay.
I can only let them in when I change my screen back to us.
Okay.
Here we go.
No worries.
All right, let me change my columns here. So give me just
okay, so we're going to move on to the next column. All right, let's see if we got, I think we might have a little question here. Is the deadline for the pre-registration form? So even submitted, we would still be able to make revision up on the deadline. Okay, that's a great question. These forms are due, the Google Forms are due 1 week from when we went to your child's classroom. So once you submit them, it's a done deal, except they can make changes up until the week we go to spring break, okay? And how they make changes, we let them know, is that they just have to email Mr. Jackson and I, respectively, whoever they're with, and we will change that in their form for them, okay? Once spring break hits, it's a done deal, okay? Because you need to understand that we build our master schedule based off of what your children select. If we started letting everybody move around and all that, all of our numbers will be completely off from 1 week to the next. So we set a complete deadline of the Friday before spring break, okay? And yeah, so you can still fill out an AP interest form. It's on the website. I believe you are now in a waiting field, so, or a waiting list. So, but yes, you can still fill them out. Good question. Okay, summer registration. I'm trying to see which one. Oh yeah, so this is the summer registration for when you guys are going to meet with us. That is coming up. Remember, we meet in July, so the dates are kind of have new dates now. So the dates are down below. June 28th to July 22nd are the days that you have available, that are available for you to meet with us for registration in the summertime. This isn't summer school, okay? Don't confuse it with summer school. So this is when you meet with us. We did the Zooming last summer, which we liked. It turned out really well. We got a lot more participation, so that was really good. You're going to get an email soon that will go again to your student's school email about when to sign up for an appointment to meet with us. We want to encourage you to do that ASAP, as well as to keep your appointment, because there are only so many appointments, and we need you to keep your appointment. So please, and it's going to be virtual again, so you'll be able to do it from Bahamas on your lounge chair. It's not going to be a problem, okay? So yeah, so just keep your appointments. All right, summer school. Summer school is, we are in the, actually we're at the tail end of signing up for summer school. So the non-tuition has already come and gone, but there are going to be still spots left, okay? So what you're going to need to do is to go on our school website. Mr. Jacks, could you go to that real quick?
Sure.
And you're going to find the non-tuition summer school as well as the tuition summer school in this area. The tuition summer school is called Dedicated to Learning. I believe that ends tomorrow night. The deadline is tomorrow night to sign up for that. So if you see, welcome to summer school, classes are now posted, that's for non-tuition. If you scroll down to the right, Mr. Jacks, along the arrows, and show them how to get to Dedicated to Learning, which is right down there. This is where you find the pay classes, the big buck classes right there. So you're going to just click on, yeah. And then it will go on to give you all the information, the emails, if you want to email somebody, all the classes that are listed, what have you. If your child received a D in any class and you want them to make it up, that's a core subject in English, a history, a math, a science. Please have them send us an email, or you can send us an email, and Mr. Jacks and I will put that your child on the summer school list. We have done that quite a few with a lot of the F students, but some of them missed last summer and didn't go, and they still need to make it up. If your child received a D in a core subject again is English, history, math, or science, we will need an email from you if you want them to make that class up, if we offer it. We're not offering everything, so you'll be able to see on this list here, and then the non-tuition one as well. There is no priority registration. So no class will get priority registration. We now hit a button and we spin it, and whoever gets whatever class gets whatever class. That's how we do it. Summer school classes will be virtual this year. All right. Okay, we talked about, so summer school, if you look at the bottom there, it runs June 7th to July 15th, and the hours are 7:30 to 1 o'clock. Your child cannot miss summer school. Remember, it's a year-long course in 6 weeks, and what you miss one day, that counts for the whole semester, okay? So they have to be there the whole entire time. And the summer school is going to be like distant learning is. It's not online. There's a difference between distant learning and there's a different and online. Distant learning means that what the kids are doing right now, they have to log on at a certain time. They're meeting with their teachers, let's say from 8 to 10. Whereas online means that you can do it from where, at your own pace. You can do the class at 2 o'clock in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, whatever you want. These are distant learning classes, okay? All right, preparing for the junior year. This is part of the requirements that we want to go over real quick. What they're going to be taking is have some type of an English 3 class. They're going to have U.S. history, whether they do that this summer or during the school year. In the math category, to get to a Cal State, you need a minimum of Algebra 2. A university requires you to have at least one higher level than Algebra 2. After Algebra 2 comes either math analysis or stats. And again, we went over all of this with your kids as well. The next, science. The difference, so with the A through G requirements, remember A through G is for 4-year school. You need to have a 3rd year of science. So if your kid has biology and chemistry, they need to take a 3rd year of something. And we have 5, 6, 7 science classes for them to choose from. In the world language category, that is all of our foreign languages. So minimum of 2 years for a Cal State. The universities would like you to have 3. We strongly recommend that you listen to that, the 3 years. All right. Okay, there's also graduate, sorry, I'm a little blurry, got to get a little close to the screen there. Graduation requirements, thank you. Everybody has to have health to graduate from high school. Everybody has to have only 2 years. Hear me out. 2 years only for PE. I know our form still says 3, and that's a little archaic, and that's hopefully before I retire, that will change. But you only have to have 2 years of PE, okay? So your kids, again, we talked to them about that. In the visual performing arts category, they have to have 1 year to go directly to a 4-year school, 1 year of a VPA, and they know what category that is as well. If any of your children have any desire to play Division 1 or 2 sports in college, it is a must that they fill out the NCAA form on the clearinghouse. We put the website there. You could also Google NCAA clearinghouse, because we have to follow a format and form and make sure that your students have so many core classes by the time they hit their junior year and their senior year. it is a must that you email your GLC and let them know, well, your kids should be doing this actually. Let your GLC know if you have intentions of playing Division I and II sports. It is a really hard thing to go to college and play Division I or Division II athletics. It's not only hard to get a scholarship, it's hard work, it's a lot of work, and your kids need to have good grades to get that scholarship. So this is a conversation that should have already happened. If it hasn't, please have your kids contact us immediately. If a child took ASL, and how does that count towards language? ASL is a great program, a great dual enrollment class we have. You can get 3 years for the price of 1 if you take our sign language class at Walnut High School. So it is really, it kills 3 birds with 1 stone, so to speak. So it's a great great class. All right, do either of the AP Computer Sciences count for a 3rd year of science? No, it's just that it falls under that category, but you need to have biology, chemistry, and one of the other true sciences, okay? If we select a PE thinking 3 years, can we change it? Yep, just send us an email and we'll take care of that for you. All right, everybody in the world wants to know about the SAT, right? So as of right now, there is no SAT, and this particular graduating class doesn't have to worry about it. But do we, as the class of 2023, have to worry about it? Mr. Jackson, I believe, yes, we will have to worry about it in the future. Now, we don't know for sure, but we are banking on that happening. Okay, somebody just raise their hand. Go ahead.
Does environmental science count as a year of science?
Not the regular, well, so that's a yes and no question. The environmental science, the lower level counts as a graduation requirement. The environmental science AP counts as a higher level 3rd year of a science.
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Okay, and so let's go back to the SAT. So a lot of times, a lot of our higher end kids will try to take SAT prep this coming summer, and then they'll want to take the SAT at least once, like maybe the first time it comes out, which will be in October after the summer. Again, we don't know when they're going to be bringing everything back full blown, but we always like to encourage the kids to wait to take their SAT so they can be at the highest level of classes possible before they take that test. So that's what we encourage, and that's what we promote, if you will. You all are going to do what you want to do, and that's fine. And but that's all we know on the SAT 1. We don't know. I'm here to tell you we don't know. Now, what I do know is the SAT 2 subject test will no longer be offered. They're gone. So that one we do know is gone for good. What I do know on the SAT, there are some Cal States that are not asking for your SATs, and this is when we weren't in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of Cal States were saying that they're not going to take the SATs anymore. But what I will tell you, if it's a competitive Cal State like San Diego State, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, they're gonna ask for your SAT scores. And if you are in a competitive major, engineering, pre-med, pre-law, any of that, they're gonna ask for your SAT scores, okay? That I do know. ACT is in the same situation, okay? All right, going down to continuing clubs and extracurricular activities. We get a lot of questions on that. Should I join clubs? How many clubs should I join? Should I do volunteering? The answer is yes to all of that. But what the colleges want to see is that you're only involved in, like, let's just say maybe 2 clubs, 2 or 3 clubs max. and that you're giving 110% to those clubs instead of being involved in 10 clubs and only giving 20 minutes a month. Okay, so pick something that you like. Pick something that you have interest. If you want to go into ophthalmology, then volunteer at the local, vision center. If you want to be a kindergarten teacher, volunteer with one of your clubs to go over to Vehar and read to the kids. So there's lots of things like that that you will want to join. They want to see that you're involved in school activities. Are you on the water polo team for 4 years? Have you done band for 3 years? Are you the ASB president? You're in publications and you're taking 4 AP classes. Yes, they want to see that you're doing that. Leadership is a huge, huge thing to get into universities and private schools. Does biology honors, chem honors, and then IB count as 3 years, or does it have to be 3 different types of sciences? Nope, all of that counts. All right. Know the graduation requirements. We talked about that, the A through G requirements. We showed you that piece of paper. I hope if your child was paying attention, they should know that, and you can know where to find it. That's in that student handbook with all the A through G requirements. We talked about already the makeup classes for summer school, D's and F's. Please send us an email if your kid, if you think your kid needs to make up something, or have them email us. All right, pay attention to your grades. Again, you as a parent should ideally, and I know it's hard when you got kids that always do their homework, but everybody should be paying attention to your kids' grades and their GPA at all times. You should be able to log on to your parent portal. Your kids should have access to their student portal, and everybody needs to be paying attention. I had someone the other day who was missing a health class from before 9th grade summer school. I'm sorry, before going into 9th grade. He took it in summer school and he just realized it just now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you not pay attention to that? So you always got to be looking at your kids' grades, their portal, their transcript. You can get the kids' transcript on their on your portal, on their student portal. All right, becoming familiar with Walnut High School website. Literally everything that goes on at Walnut High School is on our school website. So please, please, please save that in your favorites and look at it often. The other thing I want to recommend that you do, Mr. Main sends out an email to you all every Monday, or is it Friday? Friday. I strongly recommend that you read that. And the first part of it, at least the first half, has all new information all the time. It's a wealth of information. He does a great job of explaining everything that is going on, telling you how to sign up for tutorial, how to sign up for tutoring, what activities are going on campus. Everything you need to know is on that Friday email that goes out to all of you. If for some reason you are not getting that email, that means that we do not have your correct email. So as a parent, please, you can call attendance and you can update your email that way. Do the PLTW classes count for science requirements? Some of them do, yes. Does the PLT course count as another year of science? Yes, they are another year of science. Yes, but if you are going into the science field, you're going to want to take even some more science classes. Okay, and if you want to individually email us on that, we can go over that with you. Okay. All right, Mr. Jacks, where are we at?
We're at the last line, and that's taking a look at your colleges.
Okay, the other thing I strongly recommend. So nowadays, as you know, people are not on campuses. Colleges aren't even on campuses. So they're doing a lot of virtual, you can do a lot of virtual touring, I guess, if you will. But what I always like to do, and I do this myself, is whenever I travel anywhere in the United States, I don't care if I'm on vacation or I'm on something with work or whatever. I find out if there's a local college in that town and I go look at it and I drive through it. I see where it's at. I try to see the atmosphere. Is it cold? Is it hot? Do they have a lot of buildings? Is it rural? Is it in the middle of the city? And the reason why I do that, for obvious reasons, is because I like to be able to come back and say, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe where University of Santa Cruz is. University of Santa Cruz, everybody's thinking beach, right? I love UC Santa Cruz, the boardwalk, the beach is right there, it's so much fun. But then you go to the college and it's in the middle of a redwood forest. And that's UC Santa Cruz. It is the most amazing school ever, UC Santa Cruz. So, you know, I strongly encourage you, if you're going to drive from here to San Francisco for the weekend, there are so many schools you can stop at. Santa Barbara, Stanford, University of San Francisco State. There's so many you could stop at. And I strongly recommend that you start doing that now, because it's going to be coming soon, you guys. A year from now is when your kids are supposed to be deciding, you know, or need to start thinking about and deciding on schools that they might potentially want to go to. All right, where's the handbook on the site again? So the handbook is under academics, sorry. Academics, and you're right there. You're going to scroll down to course offerings. Okay, that's where the handbook is. Can you add multiple email addresses to receive the Friday notice? That is a great question that I don't know the answer to, but I think that we can. Again, if you want to add a new email, if you just want to email Mr. Jackson or myself, we can forward that over to attendance, and then they will add those on for you. All right, Mr. Side, that's a great question, actually. Some kids take AP courses outside through private agencies. Are they transferable to WHS as credits? That is the question of the night, and thank you for asking that. So this is the deal on that. What we do know is that your children are taking extra classes elsewhere, AP classes mostly. We will not put those AP classes on our Walnut High School transcript. But what you will be doing is sending so if your child takes a course somewhere, let's just say they take a course at BYU online, that you will have to send a transcript from that school and upload it to your college application. We will not be putting any of those on our Walnut High School transcripts, okay? And they don't need to be on there, because what happens is, you guys may or may not know, but we do not weight our grades at Walnut High School. The highest anybody can get is a 4.0 on a piece of paper. But what we do know is that when that your kids, when they're taking honors and AP classes, those are weighted more. Weighted means they're getting bonus points for them. They're getting extra GPA points for taking certain honors and all AP classes. So once those transcripts from whatever schools get to the college, that's when they weight the grades, okay? The kids have told me that there are websites out there that, you know, if you hand input each one of the classes that you took in high school, you'll be able to push a button and it will tell you what your weighted GPA is. But we do not weight them. So no, the other thing I do want to mention that kind of piggybacks on that is that you can't just sign your kids up to take classes at other places without asking us about it. So for example, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to try to get my kids signed up for US history at some random class or school that you found online somehow, some way, we don't allow that. So you have to communicate with us. There's only if your student is taking a course that is needed for graduation, your child has to take that class at Walnut High School, okay? So again, AP classes are different. You do what you want to do with that AP thing, but we are not putting that on our transcript. In addition to that, we will not allow your child to take an AP exam if they are not enrolled in the class at our school. Okay? All right. Can kids take AP Environmental Science and Comp Sci at the same time? Yes, the answer is yes to that. Okay, was that it, Mr. Jacks?
Yes, that is our material.
Oh, okay. Oh, that wasn't too bad. About 40 minutes. All right. Does anybody have any questions that you would like us to answer? That might be a general question and not necessarily super specific to your child. Okay. If we filled out a pre-qualification form, do we also need to fill out an open interest form? I'm not sure what open interest form. Yeah, I think that's the same thing. Yeah. Oh, no. The pre-qualification was like if you are currently in an honors class. So no, you do not.
Okay.
No, oh, I'm so sorry. Mr. Jacks, you want to answer that real quick?
Well, they keep disappearing. Do the 3 science courses have to each be, and now disappeared? I think only you can see it. I'm sorry, I've lost it.
Okay. Do the 3 science courses have to each be different, or can some of them be the same, like biochem and then higher level bio? Yes, they can be like that. Bottom line is you have to have biology and chemistry. Okay. Bottom line. After that, you can have bio AP, chem AP, anatomy and physiology, medical pathology, BioSL. There's all kinds of stuff that you can take. All right. If our child fills out an AP interest form after March 4th, would she be a second priority? Yes. Yes, she would. So she would be on the wait list for that. Earlier, you mentioned that the results for AP acceptance has been released. Where can I find that? You can find that on the school website under the AP category, and it will tell you, it will list it by your student's ID. Okay. All right. What else we got? If in the IB program and taking IB classes, can they take the AP test? Not unless they're enrolled in the class. They have to be enrolled in the class. Okay. And yeah, so as far as we know right now, we will be doing virtual summer registration appointments, and summer school will be virtual. Again, as you, Mr. Main and Dr. Taylor, have been very transparent with the community about when we're coming back, if we're coming back. Hopefully that is, you know, I'd like to say hopefully in August, I would hope, that we return. Believe it or not, you guys, school starts August 9th this year. What happened to the day of after Labor Day? What happened to those days? I don't know what happened. Things have changed. Yeah. All right, UC Science requires 2, recommend 3, but we go for 3. Is that right? I would strongly recommend. I like, Mr. Jackson and I are on the same page where we want our students to be fully qualified to go to a UC, whether they go or not. And that being said is because then you apply for Cal State, you already know you're fulfilled everything you need. Even if you start off at a community college, okay? Just so you know, Mr. Jacks and I, both our daughters have attended community colleges for the last 2 years, Rio Hondo Community College, for free. And that is because of the California Promise. So we just saved ourselves about, $50,000.
There you go.
And so we're pretty proud of that. You guys may not be, but we're proud of it. My daughter is transferring this year to a 4-year school, and she's gotten into 4 out of her 5 choices that she would have never gotten in coming out of Walnut High School, even though she had a 3.6 leaving Walnut High School. So, you know, it's something to think about, you guys, especially nowadays, because you never know how things are going to go. Okay, so if we take something like Math HL, we won't be able to take the AP calculus exam. Not AB, but BC. Is psychology offered as a summer school class? No, it's not. There are no AP classes or world languages offered in the summertime, unfortunately. If we take AP physics at WHS, do we need to take honors physics first? Nope. Nope. The other thing that can happen if we, for some reason, do not, if your kids have some extra classes that they want to take, or because maybe they don't have such a busy schedule, we can offer them a dual enrollment over, it's not dual enrollment, it's called the special admit program over at Mount SAC. So let's just say they want to take physics, for example. They already have put in 6 classes into their day, but they want to take physics over at Mount SAC as a college student. They can do that, okay? But remember, they got to keep up their grades during periods 1 through 6 first. That special admit program is something your kids can talk with us about, okay? And you could actually Google it all. The other thing I wanted to throw out there when we're thinking about, and I hope I don't miss these, let me just get this real quick. If we take AP Physics at Walnut, do we need to take, my child applied for AP Calc and her ID is not on the website. Is this because she is still in her current math class? That's a good possibility. Any questions regarding the AP forms of maybe why I didn't or did get in, or why isn't my name on the list, you can email Mr. Nelson Chen. That is also on the website, and he will answer that for you. The other thing I want to throw out there real quick, Mount SAC has a honors program. That honors program, you have to have minimum qualifications to get in there, like a 3.2, letter of recommendation, all that high scores or high grades. You do that program, you have a like 95% transfer rate to UCLA or Irvine. They have a partnership with those schools. So if your child does really, really well in that honors program, that's a shoe-in for some of your higher end schools. I talked about my daughter. She coming out of Walnut High School with a 3.6 was not good enough to get into a lot of colleges. So, but by going through the community college route, your odds are way better. She's now gotten into San Diego State and Long Beach. She would have never gotten into those schools coming out of high school. So sometimes you have to take different routes, and it's not a bad thing. Okay. All right. All right. Anything else for the good of the cause?
I see one here. I don't see AP Calc AB on the website.
For what?
So it is on the interest form, and it has been posted whose ID numbers have gone through the interest form.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if you have any questions, again, on the AP forms, just go ahead and email Mr. Nelson Chen. The AP exams run the same time as regular classes in summer school. During the AP meeting in person, test is given priority to seniors and juniors. Can anything be done to obtain priority for my kid to take in person if there's too many enrolled, just to ensure summer classes is not impacted? That is a lot. Can you maybe just email Mr. Jacks or myself on that one? That one's that's kind of a 3 or 4 parter. And that one's a little extensive.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope that you guys got a lot of information. I know it was a lot, but we are here for you. I need you to encourage your students, your children, to please continue to check their school email. We are emailing them all the time, and nobody emails us back. It hurts our feelings, but we try. But we're reaching out to them. Those that we know that are struggling, we have support for them. Those that we get messages from teachers that your kids are struggling, we reach out to them. Please encourage your kids to, get outside in the backyard, do some stretching, exercising, get some sun, some vitamin D. I have a little chair outside. I sit between classes sometimes after meetings. just to try to soak in some sun. Exercise is everything, you guys. So make sure that they're staying healthy that way. Okay, are the IB classes combined with the AP classes? Yes, that is a yes question. All right, so we will be signing off. Again, you guys are going to be looking for the email for summer registration with us. You're going to sign up right away. You're going to keep your appointment, and we will see you then. That's the next time we'll see you. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
All right. Anything we missed, send us a note. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Let's wait, Mr. Jackson, wait a second here.
Oh, you got something else? Oh, I see.
No,
Thank
just-
you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. We
Everybody, you're
appreciate it.
welcome. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.